So this is my friend Alex, and he's an English language learner. So he just, hi everyone, welcome back. This is Alex, and I'll be interviewing him for the second entry. So, how old were you when you learned English?
I learned English when I want to say 3 years.
Oh wow, so you were very young.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But Spanish is your first language, right?
Yeah.
So you learn English at home or school?
At school.
At school, okay. How proficient do you think you are now in English? Like, how you consider yourself?
I consider myself to be a good speaker, not necessarily a good writer, because I do sometimes do forget that.
Why do you think you struggle more with writing?
Well, with writing to like all the verbs, commas, and.
Do you think that's because you learned to speak Spanish first, or you just think that writing is not your thing?
I think writing is not my thing. Even in Spanish, I forget how to write. Like, I think I'm like, no, I can't write sometimes.
Okay. And which one do you consider your dominant language?
English for sure.
So at home you speak English or Spanish?
Spanish.
And then everywhere else is just
English.
English, okay. How did your teachers help you learn English, or like what was the process of you learning English? I mean, if you remember, you were 3. I know that's kind of hard.
Well, for sure, it was like I got into pre-kinder and I didn't know they put me in an English only speaking teacher, so I could. The only way you could go to the restroom is if you asked her in English. I didn't, so I peed on myself.
Oh my god.
So that made me really frustrated. My mom had to go to the school and talk so they can put me in a ESL.
ESL.
Yeah.
So when were you like fully into a all English class?
English, I want to say 4th grade.
Oh, okay. So, but the other ones were just like bilingual kind of
thing.
Okay. What area of English do you think you struggled the most with, like overall? I mean, you did say kind of writing, I guess,
writing
part, right?
That's like the one I struggle the most with.
The most. Is there like another language you would want to learn?
I would really like to learn probably like Russian.
Really? That's kind of difficult though, right?
Yeah.
Especially because it's hard. Like you wouldn't have anyone to practice it with.
No, it would be mostly like online classes.
Online classes, okay. And how difficult do you think it would be, to get the accents, like, because you don't have like.
I probably won't.
I won't be able to get in at all.
I'll get somewhere close.
Somewhere close to it. So, what aspects of like your first language influence your second language a lot? Like, do you see certain differences in the languages, or things that are the same that kind of make you like connect the languages or something like that between Spanish and English?
Well, I think it's like everyone who's bilingual. Like whenever you hear something in Spanish or English, you get in your mind, you think of the.
You translate it.
So like automatically.
If I say something in English, you kind of like would translate it to Spanish, and vice versa, kind of thing.
Automatically, like it just pops in your head.
And you think it's also a lot because certain words are familiar, like in English, like not familiar, but like they kind of have like computer is the same, like kind of like computadora, you know, like so it kind of comes like, oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And is there things that you know the name of them in English but not Spanish, or you know the things, or vice versa? Like if I ask you something, you will be like, oh, I know how to say it in English, but I don't know the terminology for it in Spanish.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like especially in the like medical terms, like neurology. I don't think I know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
Okay, that makes sense. How do you think speakers of the English language helped you with your second language? So like other people around you.
Well, they talked to me in English, and whenever I would make a mistake, like they wouldn't laugh or like said something mean. They would they would correct me so that I would learn the correct word.
And how do you think the age impacted your language learning?
I think it helped me because I was really young. So.
Do you think if you had been older, it would have been harder for you?
Yeah. I mean, you see it with I tried teaching my parents, and never worked for them. So.
You know, actually, according to one of the books that I was reading, it's kind of easier for older people to obtain the language like in the long run. Maybe like, for example, if you put like a kid versus an adult, the adult will like obtain more of the knowledge than
Really?
like if you teach them something, usually the adult obtains the language more. And usually you're like, you're brought up to where like, oh, teach them young because it will stay in their heads or whatever. But in the long run, you'll learn more as an adult because your brain, it's more like advanced kind of thing, more developed.
It makes sense though, because when you're a kid, you're in school, like it's like repetition.
Yeah, so it's kind of that's what gets stuck. But as an adult, it's like they tell you once, and you kind of like
you either want to learn it.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think being an English language learner affected your like schooling overall? Do you think there was differences between you and kids that their first language was English, or you think it was like the same thing? I think that's more for like a middle school question, because, or like after 4th grade, because you were in all English classes after then. So did you not notice any differences between those students and yourself?
I did. I felt like those students like whose English was their first language, they knew how to like their grammar was really good. Yeah. Mine on the other hand,
I don't think I could ever. I would ever like master the writing part like at all. Never.
Like Delilah was teaching me, like she was looking over one of my assignments, and she's like, "You're missing a comma there. You're missing a comma there. Don't use a comma there."
Yeah.
So
Grammarly.
Yeah.
Okay.